Odessa, I'd like to start with you by asking if you could tell us a little bit about just the genesis of this really important film.
Well, thank you all again for being here. I know Kaouther would love to be here, our director, but the reason she's not here is actually she's shooting another film. And that's the film that we were working on together when this incident happened, and she heard the little voice of Hind, the little tiny bit that was released in the news cycle. It moved her, and I had gotten to know her during her last film, 4 Daughters, which was extraordinary. And I just wanted to work with her. I was passing through Paris to discuss this other film, and she said, well, I have this idea. And at that point, she had contacted the Red Crescent, and every news organization contacted them and asked them for the audio of the little girl, because they knew the event happened over a 3-hour time period. But they didn't want to release it to the news cycle. And it turns out that the head of the Red Crescent is a bit of a cinephile. And he had seen 4 Daughters, actually. And she just talked to him about film as a medium to tell stories versus the news cycle. And he agreed to let her listen to this audio that they had, which was about 78 minutes long, the portion that they'd recorded with Hind's voice. And she, after listening to it, also spoke to the mother for many hours, because obviously when you're dealing with an audio of a child that's no longer there, the mother and her conversations and the permission from the mother was an essential part before even thinking about making the film. And that's when we sat down for lunch, and she said she'd just listened to this audio, and I knew the story also, as I'd been following what was happening, and we just said, let's do it. And it was a really fast thing. We just started working on it. I think it was in March of 2024, I guess, right? We shot in November and premiered at Venice in September.
Clara, I would love to know what your reaction was like being approached about this film, and how you felt, working on this.
Good evening. Thank you for making the time to be here. We really appreciate it. I was frustrated as a mother, as an artist, since October 7. I was grieving. I didn't know what is my role as a human being and what am I doing as an artist. It was a rough first year, and by August 2024, I had a text from Kaouther, who I admired, and I've been following her work for so many years. And I always wished to work with her, and it just happened. I live in Northern California with my 2 kids and a partner, and I live on a farm. I left Palestine 15 years ago because I wanted to create a better future for my kids. And I wanted to live in peace. And this film came as a gift, as a tool, as a vessel to express myself as an artist. And I feel that this is our mission, as human beings, to make art that matters and speak up to the people's heart and speak up for justice too. Thank you.
Clara, I would like to continue asking you a little bit about, specifically with your performance in the film, playing this psychologist who's there to help the aid workers get through their day. What kind of prep work did you do? I understand that you guys did work with the actual Red Crescent aid workers on that. So how did you prep for the role? And I'm also just curious what the atmosphere was like on that set.
Good question. All of us, the actors, we spoke to the real characters and we did our research and we had long phone calls with them. Me specifically, I spoke to Nasreen. Nasreen is a psychologist and she is in charge of the emotional support at the Red Crescent for all the aid workers. She's a story by herself, you know, all her, of course I spoke to her and I learned her life story. And to be in such a film, it's not like I can use my actor method or imagination to create a character because she already exists, she's still working there, she's still facing so many stories every day. So I felt that I have a huge responsibility to mirror who she is and to honor who she is. And we all, when we went to the first day of shooting, we studied the script, but we never heard her voice.
Meaning Hind's voice.
Hind's voice. So the first day of shoot was the first time we heard her voice.
Kaouther, Kaouther, let me say that.
Yeah.
Kaouther did this thing where she didn't want anyone to hear Hind's voice until the camera was rolling.
Exactly. So the reactions were, you forget that you're acting because you're hearing a real voice of a little girl. Even though, you know, there's cameras and, you know, there's the technicalities around it, but it's like you connect to your heart immediately. You have to live the moment. I don't think we were acting even.
And actually not only just Hind's voice, but the real Nasreen's voice was also
she was merging it together.
In the earpiece of the real voice of Rana, the real Omar. So everything on both sides of the phone call was how the audio was. And then the rest of the script, what happened around it, the coordination, etc., all of that was built out of hours and hours of interviews with the people who were there.
Yeah. And we shot it chronologically, day by day. And I forgot what I wanted to say.
Well, speaking of the use of Hind's voice and all these elements, Kaouther is such a gifted filmmaker in straddling this docu-fiction hybrid, and I'm curious to hear from both of you what you think of that approach. I think one of the most powerful scenes in this movie is, throughout the film you get these little hints of like, wait, oh, this moment seems to be not fiction. It's like a little documentary moment, and it culminates in that scene near the end with the phone that just floored me. I'm curious to hear from you as an actress and working in fiction film to then be in this moment that is, straddling both lines. And Odessa, your thoughts on Kaouther's, that method that she has in approaching her storytelling. One of you.
I mean, for me, I come more from the world of documentary. So actually, when we first started playing with integrating real elements into the film, it was only in the edit. The real audio that we play at different segments that you transition to, and you hear both sides of the audio with sort of on the still face, we found that more in the edit. It wasn't in the script. The end beat, though, it was inspired from the only real video clip that is of that event. And Kaouther, she's a director that just loves playing with form. And so she always wanted to integrate this in a way, and it was very important to remind people that this is the truth that they're watching.
I'd love to open it up to the audience if anyone would like to ask any questions. No? A little bit shy? Okay, well.
It's a hard film to talk after.
Yes, very much so. Yes, right here.
How many days was the shoot, and then also the choice to film in Tunisia?
Yes. Kaouther is Tunisian, and Nadim, her longtime producing partner who I produced it with, he's also Tunisian. She usually does shoot in Tunisia. The shoot was very fast. It was about 16 days. And some days were very, very long. And honestly, we looked at shooting in the south of France, because Kaouther lives in France now. But it was budgetary restrictions, to be honest. And Tunisia, they have a crew there that they've worked with and they trust. And also, there's a lot of Palestinians in Tunisia. So everyone who, even the extras on set, all the actors in it were all Palestinian, and they all were Palestinian students, which I think created a vibe of, you know, a really, an energy that was like holding everyone in the film.
Yes, right here.
First of all, Clara, you provided an amazing performance. So much delicacy and intention with such a, I can't imagine the environment on set and what you all went through collectively as a cast. And just overall, so thank you for what you bring to the screen always. And my question for you is, what are you looking forward to in the future of films about Palestine, Palestinian filmmaking? What kind of stories as a woman are you looking forward to seeing more now, having experienced this type of filmmaking? And what did you take away from this, and what are you looking forward to next?
So the question, Clara, is after experiencing this film, what are you looking forward to next within the realm of like Palestinian cinema, and then like as a woman, you know, in cinema, like what do you think the future will hold?
Well, first I would accept acknowledgement first. Second, more narratives for women. I mean, more women filmmakers, more characters, of course. I mean, it's a dream for us. And any vessel or tool that we can as human beings to tell our stories, of course. And we are such a rich nation. We have beautiful poetry and beautiful artists, and we deserve to be heard. Thank you.
Yeah, I think we have another question here. So what question is, what are the distribution plans for the film to be able to get it in front of as wide of an audience as possible?
we hoped for distribution. You know, and when we premiered at Venice, there was a lot of interest. I think everyone was really excited about the film. And there was engagement from various larger distribution platforms. And then slowly they just backed away. And we started thinking about Plan B. We had a few smaller options to get support, and what we have decided to do is basically build out, it's going to be announced like this week, so I feel like I should say we're announcing it this week, but we've put together a team to get the film out there, and it's going to be out soon. A lot more work.
Do you have, yes, right here.
Honestly, I just wanted to say thank you so much for making this film, and I think it's something that every single person on the planet needs to watch. So just thank you.
Thank you.
I think we had a question. Yes.
Hey, great job, you guys. It was so powerful, amazing. Anyway, it's when you watch, you just go, what can I do about this? Is there any kind of activism campaign you guys are doing? Like, if we watch this and we want to somehow get involved?
Yeah, we're just finalizing a website to raise money for the Palestinian Red Crescent. They're so underfunded. Everyone there is a volunteer. All the money goes towards trying to get medical supplies and aid into Gaza, and they've lost so many workers. So the whole impact campaign is going to be driving, doing different initiatives to try and raise money for the Palestinian Red Crescent.
Other question? Yes, right here. Yes.
Fantastic. I just want to, reflect everything that everyone else has said about it's actually words are lacking. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
You touch upon a subject for like a very short minute when there's a tension between Omar and
Maddie.
and it's about I can't remember the exact words, but it's something about if everyone was like you, we're occupied because of people like you or something.
Because they kind of represent the younger generation and the older generation. Yeah.
So as I'm learning more and more about the struggle and studying and reading books, this is something that has come up, and I'd be interested. I wonder if this area of sort of study, you would continue exploring that for the people that don't know, and to make us better understand what's going on, because it's really frustrating. Like you hear about these people that should be the ones that lead and protect, and then there's this struggle, and you just touched upon it very briefly, and so it just struck me because I heard about it and I want to learn more about it.
Well, hopefully this is just a small piece of everything there is to learn about that very big, long struggle. I mean, you lived there. You should speak to that more than me.
I mean, the younger generation is so brave, and they are our future. There were in the past, a lot of compromises that were done politically on the Palestinian side. That's a tricky question. I think there's education to be done and research, and there's so many books and resources and documentaries to really understand the Palestinian people. And there's a lot of resources, and I suggest that you should maybe make some space for that. Yeah.
Do we have other questions that we'd like to ask? Yes, right here.
Hi, my name is Emil. I'm Tunisian and I'm a student
love Tunisia.
Beautiful country. Yes.
My question is more for you. I saw you last year here at AFI Thank you for banking with us. And both incredible films, both very, very necessary. I will say, I remember leaving that movie feeling like everyone was crying and at the same time laughing because it's more of a comedy. And I guess my question to you is, you did 2 Palestinian films. One is a bit more, I would say, lighthearted, but very deep, and the other one is, what was the response for you, for the audience, for both? Like, how would you compare and contrast those experiences? I know it's a big question.
Oh, I have nothing to compare,
Yeah,
actually.
they're very
They're too different.
Yeah.
This is more of a social feminist work about women living in Ramallah, and this is more current, necessary, urgent film. As any actor, you know, you jump in the water and you start swimming in a new world, you know. So, yeah, I wish you very good luck. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Yeah. So you're,
I think we're good, no?
we're good? We're good? All right. Well, thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you.